is Ben,
And I'm Amanda.
and this is Seasoned Greetings. I'm gonna try and like hit you off guard every time. That's my
Every time.
goal. Every
Is that
time.
the goal?
My goal is just to
Why?
completely throw. I don't know because it's funny
It's
because
fun for you.
it
Okay.
is. I
When my
find it
brain
humorous.
doesn't decides not to work.
Yep. It's great. It's gonna be my new bit.
You bit.
That and the meter that's doesn't exist. The thirst
It
meter
exists. It's there.
in my head. Yeah.
It's fine. All right. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into it because we
you
got
want to
we
get
got
we
a
want
lot of
three.
ground to cover.
We do have some ground to cover.
Ground to
We're
cover.
starting chapter 19.
Yes.
So we did a lot last time
Hmm.
because we got teased like really. We got a really big tease with Tamlin taking her swimming,
Right.
um, as
Thought for
well as
sure it was the moment. Thought it was the moment.
no, um, and then I broke Ben's brain by basically saying that at this point she could be with either Tamlin or Lucian.
Not true. I don't.
I
Still
mean,
does not compute.
it's definitely like to the Tamlin side of center,
I'm
but I
telling
do
you,
feel like it
if
could have
she was thinking Lucian, she'd be talking about his muscles a little bit more.
happened.
He's so lean and
Yeah.
sleek, and maybe he doesn't have like the big bulging corded feral muscles
Nope.
like could you stop? I
No,
guess.
no, Lucian I think is um to borrow from gay culture, like Lucian, I think is a twank.
Oh yeah,
I think he falls into that twink category.
that gotcha.
Like he's very pretty because she does like she has mentioned this. We know he's an attractive guy with his one eye.
Yeah, it's just the way she talks about him. It's like, it's like, oh, hey, it's Lucian. He's looking dapper today.
He is
And then
very
there's
dapper.
and there's Tamlin and his
Tamlin.
muscles just and there's bulging out of his shirt. That
Yeah,
is
his
not
corded muscles.
corded feral muscles.
Feral
And
muscles.
his teeth ferally grinned at me.
Mm-hmm. He is always feral.
Always. Even when he's
Always
not.
feral. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so yeah, they did they walked back and
I like
I'm
I
still not
do will
convinced that.
say
Yeah.
I do still love this little moment that Lucian and Feyre have where he like apologizes. I'm like,
It's like a bond. It's like a bond. Like their friendship is like blooming. It's cute. I like
yeah,
it a lot. It was
they're
nice.
becoming besties.
Yeah, finally, for once, she actually has someone on her side for
Yeah.
the first time in this story, which is a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I mean, to our knowledge, yeah, because everything is from Feyre's perspective. So yeah, this is I think the first time that she really truly feels that like people are in her court, and care about her well-being above the family
Hmm. Her court of thorns and
and Roses.
roses, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. What are you hinting at, Ben?
Nothing. Nothing
Nothing.
actually. I was just pretend. It's a red herring. It means nothing.
It means absolutely nothing.
No.
So do you want to like update the people of where the thirst meter is at after our swimming session?
Yeah. Hold on. Where are we at, Bob? No, that's not right. You messed it up. Okay. It's at like 900, I think, is where it was.
900? We went up to 900? Okay.
900. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like I said, Bob was
Oh,
messing with it. I don't know why I
okay.
was doing that, but yeah, it's like 900, somewhere around there.
Damn
I
it,
think
Bob.
it hit 9,000 at one point, and then it came back down.
We
Just
definitely did. We did have a spike because
yeah,
like the
just
thirst was like, whoa. And
hmm
then it was like, mm,
hmm yeah, yeah.
because
So yeah,
slow burn.
it was, yeah. It's still pretty up there though. I mean, still pretty high, I'd say, but not as high as it was because she started comparing Tamlin to Isaac.
She did.
And yeah, I mean, like, and I get it. Like, it's like, oh, this is the
That's a boner killer.
yeah, it's like that's the dude I boned, and also like compared to Tamlin is probably like a dweeb and just like
Yeah. Wow.
sinewy muscle. There's no muscle there. There's no
There's
muscle in
nothing.
Isaac. Isaac, he needs more muscle if he's gonna compare. Let's be
Isaac,
honest.
well, we know this. Isaac is about her age and is therefore just this little. He hasn't come into it yet. He probably can't grow a full beard. He's 19, 20, 21. I mean, how long did it take you to be able to grow that full, luscious beard?
Last year.
Last year. Okay, see?
Yep,
See, guys,
38
it
years,
takes a
38
long
years.
time. Long time. Well, you can't count like 14 of those years.
Fair, that's true. That's true.
You had to hit
Like,
puberty, and then
yeah, and then, and then an occasional sprout would happen. So,
right,
yeah.
and it came in really patchy.
hmm It still does. I still don't have a complete beard, like, but the mustache, thick. It's a real
Yeah.
thick mustache, but I don't really do the whole mustache, so I just do the whole thing.
Right. Well,
Anyway,
yeah. The mustache is a very bold choice.
I
Um,
can't do it. I don't,
some people can. Yeah. My uncle did. My uncle was always had the
mustache.
mustache. Yeah. It was
Very,
weird when he started to let the rest of it grow in on his face.
oh yeah. You're just
Because
so used to it one way. It's just
yeah.
like, yeah. There's that running joke between me and my wife. Like, I'm always like, I'll say I'm gonna shave
Mhm.
because I mean like trim up like the other hairs outside the beard, and
Right.
she always goes, "Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't ever shave." And then one time there was like this TikTok of like it was a joke. This guy comes out and he's like, "What do you think?" And it's like a baby face. It's like, but it's an actual baby. He's like, "I shaved. What do you think?" And then his wife's like, she like has a bag. She's like packing it up. I'll be back when it
Yeah.
grows. It
Yeah.
grows
Like call me when
back.
you're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I will say, I say the same thing to my partner all the time. It's like he just hits this point where he wants to like trim it. And like for me, I think he takes it too short.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not my face. I don't have to live with it.
Sure.
But like I'm like, dude, it's like you take it so short that then it's like really prickly.
Yeah, that is a problem.
And I'm
There is,
like, I love you, but like leave it just like a hair longer.
yeah.
Like if you
It's
really feel like you have to.
it's tricky. Like grooming, facial grooming is a lot harder than it should be. And unless you're doing like if you got the trimmer and it's just like you hit it to a one and do it up, then
Right.
that's easy. But like to make it look nice, I mean, even I don't
Line
put
it
enough
out.
work. Yeah, to the line. Even I don't put the proper work into it. But some people, man, it's just like immaculate beards. I
So
also I don't like the hanging. I don't like stuff hanging from my neck or from my
oh, okay.
chin. So I always make sure I keep this high, keep like a three. I do a three here, a four on the outsides, and a four on the front. Sometimes I'll even go like three up front if I want to get the. Can't believe we're talking about this. Okay.
No, this is very important conversation.
I'll do like a three, which is I forget the size. They're like a three here because my mustache and I don't know what goatee area grows so
Mhm.
thick that I can usually do it a little bit shorter. And then the outsides I try and keep long because it's a little more patchy than say like here. And
Right.
yeah, and I just can't do anything like here down. I just off
Right.
and yeah, I don't like hanging beards, so I always keep that close.
So you know,
Um,
I've talked about Kyle. I think
yeah,
you met him like once.
yeah, yeah.
He has his own barber for his beard.
I tried that. I tried that. Um,
Yeah.
I go to a I always call her a stylist. That's not what she is, but she's a what's the term?
I mean, I go to a stylist.
Okay, is that what you call it?
I
Okay,
call she's my hairstylist.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's a stylist. Yeah. She does my hair and like she doesn't really do is everything okay?
Yeah, no, the cat just jumped over
Yeah,
here and I'm
okay.
like, what are you doing?
Oh, yes, okay. I should have known it was a cat.
It was absolutely always a cat.
Um, yeah. Yeah, so she doesn't do facial hair.
Okay.
Obviously, she has like I think she actually has a barber's license, but she doesn't do facial hair, which is fine. Because I tried going to a barber once and then to do hair and face, and he just ended up taking trimmers and just went through with my beard. I'm like, I can do that. Like, give me something more, you know?
Oh, if
So I
you
know,
want, I can get you the number of the girl that he goes to
okay, I'll check it out.
because he goes
She
in
he get
and like,
pampered.
oh, she shaves straight razors his head because
Hmm.
he goes bald with
Yeah,
full beard and like he does it's been growing out longer and she's been helping him shape it so it grows the right way that he wants it. Like she
nice.
lines him all out and she takes the straight razor to his head and
She
hot
does straight ra-
towel.
she do
Yeah.
a straight razor, actual straight razor.
Mhm.
Really? That's crazy.
That's all
The
she
whole
does, man. And
the
she's got
whole
a
thing.
dog. That's pretty cool. So
She got a dog.
the dog's the receptionist. He greets you at the door.
Oh, that's
Do you have
cute.
an
That's
appointment?
cool. Do you have a appointment? I just imagine like
Right.
A Scooby-Doo, like,
Scooby Doo.
yeah, just Scooby-Doo just
How
coming
can
up
we
to
help
you.
you?
Yeah.
Do you have a Scooby snack?
Yeah. Are you here
So
for trying to think of what like a I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
it does
Yeah. So beard, facial hair,
weird facial hair, man.
it's a thing, which gets me because it seems like all these, from what I've heard about from all these ACOTAR books, it's like
They all are clean
it
shaven,
seems they're all clean shaven.
but I think they all kind of fall into that twinks
Yeah,
otter range.
sure. Just like no hair other than on the top of the
Minimal
head.
hair. Yeah, minimal
Just
hair.
none, which is not me at all.
Which I think it is. I will say I do find it very funny that like so many women like are lusting after these fictional men, but like our real life men, we have to have them have beards. So
You know
maybe
what this is it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna set you straight right now
oh, oh,
because 90% of men in the real world don't have these chiseled jaws that the
oh, really?
jawline. It's if you have like an immaculate jawline, you don't need to cover that shit up.
But you know what? This is fair. When you have wings, I don't think you need a beard either. It might distract.
There's that too. And
Like,
wings.
and
Let's be honest.
wings.
And wings.
That is the thing that will be coming. And wings.
Yes, we will be getting to wings. Yes, we will.
Wings. All right.
Yeah,
Chapter
let's
19.
let's
Let's
do it.
let's go. I think we're gonna blow through chapter 19 pretty quickly because it's just a lot of like Tamlin writing bad poetry and Feyre painting.
Yeah, she gets her paints and he kind of sets her up to like find a space and then um at one point he he approaches her. I forget how they get together, but basically he's like, I used to write poetry. The thing that I thought was funny and kind of weird was he used to write poetry while in his war camps or whatever. I think he said, or they're like
Um,
limericks. Was that what it was?
it might have been limericks, is how.
He described
Um,
it. They're
yeah,
lewd limericks
lewd limerick. Yeah,
or something along those lines. And I was like, don't really picture this as the kind of guy who's writing smutty poetry, but
that
but
no, I'm sorry, that tracks completely. Like if
you
you
think
like
so?
think about the debauchery that occurs in a war camp,
Okay.
in a camp in general.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, a bunch of dudes. Well, I mean, I don't
Put
know.
them in a
Maybe they have
locker
women
room.
fighters as well. But yeah, the locker, sure. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
gonna be it's very much is gonna fall into that like boys will be boys category of like making body jokes.
Except for the poetry part. I don't know how many locker rooms I've been in that never heard a lick of poetry.
Really? Really?
I have not. I've not heard
You've
poetry.
never had a male in your life
Uh-huh.
propose a toast about to honor to glory. I forget how he did it, and it was basically a poem about
Uh-huh.
how if you can't come in her, come on her.
Okay, that whole thing. Yeah, I guess that's poetry. Fine, if you wanna. Yeah,
It rhymes.
sure.
It has a meter.
Okay, yeah. All right, fine. Fair enough. Point
So
taken. Not too hard to imagine. All right.
no, it's definitely going to be just in those kind of like ways to make your friends laugh.
Yeah,
Like that's the only you're not writing love. You're not sitting here writing a long lost love poem.
right.
You're not at all.
No, that's not what. Yeah, you're not writing to a love that's far away.
No. So yeah, it's Feyre's painting. They definitely are falling into the routine. Like that's really what I think chapter 19 is establishing for us is kind of they have breakfast, she'll go paint.
Hmm.
Maybe they'll walk in the gardens together that we find out were a mating gift from
Of the
Tamlin's
parents
father to his
to his
mother,
right. We
which
do
I'm
learn
like,
a
that's
little
actually
bit.
kind
No, that is. Yeah, no, that's legit. That's some earnest stuff.
of cute. Yeah.
We do learn a little bit about how there's mating bonds
Mhm.
and how like basically it's like arranged marriages by some magic power, I guess.
Yes.
Um, but it doesn't always have to happen like that. If a person's bond is strong enough that, they can still be matched, even though it's not the mating bond or something.
Yeah, so it's definitely like seems to be made very aware like aware that like the mating bond is actually kind of rare. Um so like when they have this bond, it's like there is no one else. Like it's soulmates.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
um and however though there are people who will have like love in children without that mating bond. But it's like the mating bond guarantees children. Um
Which is important as we learn because Fae don't have, I don't know if it's high Fae or fairies in general, but they don't have a lot of children, so it's kind of a big deal,
yeah.
it would seem. So, and they take a long time to mature.
Yes, they do.
So,
Yeah, they
um,
age definitely because they live longer, they age slower, so them reaching adulthood does it is a whole thing.
yeah,
Um so I'm trying to think like what we're so yeah, like they're walking, she takes one of the roses, she ripped off one of the roses off his parents' trees because she's upset. Um
because she was distracted from her answers, from finding answers to her questions because of the
yeah.
painting. Because, in other words, she's pissed that she was having a good time.
Right. No, honestly, she's like, I should have been thinking about worrying about my family and getting home to them and taking care of them, but instead here I am
I get it. I get it.
painting, wasting
Sure.
days away. And I'm like, how many times do you gotta be told? They're fine.
They are cool. They're fine,
They're
as it turns
they're
out.
great. They don't need you. Enjoy your life for once.
Now look at that Tamlin and tap that ass. Like, let's
Yeah,
turn this around. Let's do this thing. It's taken so long. It's taken so long,
and it
but
really is.
it continues to take a while. Anyway,
But here we do have a thirsty moment that does come in a little bit. Because they're sitting there and he's telling her not to feel bad for one moment about anything that brings her joy.
right.
And then
Which is
he
sweet. That's sweet.
places the rose behind her ear and like just kind of caresses her. And you're like, oh, okay, we're getting a little caressing. Also,
Getting a
this
little
is where
touchy
we get our
feely.
roses and thorns.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
pretty
I
much,
mean,
it's on the nose, but sure, yeah, it's there.
it was very on the nose,
It's
but
fine. It's a good name still.
it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, how
Um,
he was soft and warm. He kisses her on the cheek.
mm,
And that kind of ends just a little bit. And then they get to kind of another day comes around. Let's see. Um, they're definitely creating little in jokes. You kind of see because she looks up at the High Lord because she snared him.
she snared him.
Yeah, you don't remember this part?
Mm-mm.
So okay, so she's talking about just like
Oh,
how
that's
mortified
I.
she
Yes, I
was.
do. Yes, I do. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hmm. And so they're out in the woods doing the fresh air thing. And she kept crept through the trees and brush for no more than an hour before she could feel the presence behind her. Yeah, a snap, aurora fury echoed across the land, scattering the birds. When I climbed out of the tree and walked into the little clearing, I merely crossed my arms and looked up at the High Lord, dangling by his legs from the snare I'd laid. I love that her response is, "That's what you get for stalking me." Like they're
Which,
definitely like this is a very weird flirt, but like it's a
yeah,
good
no, yeah,
flirt.
that's a good one. No, I mean it's very on point. It's very it feels like something they'd actually do because she's basically, you know, been trying to defend and place traps and fight, or not really fight, but just kind of like trying to exist in this weird world, and that's like what she hung on to, and then now she's taking that and using it as like this way to show affection. It's cute.
Yeah, it is really cute. And so yeah, she lets him down and this is when he presents her with the poem that he wrote.
Okay. Which,
Um
and that's what, and this is coming because he thought she was writing poems
mhm.
but
Well,
really,
yeah,
there wasn't a poem. It was just a bunch of words she didn't know, but he thought she was trying to write a poem.
she was doing something, yeah. Yeah, there
which
once
is
was a lady most beautiful. Spirited, if a little unusual, Tamlin. You are not good at this.
he was the best in his war band. You can't
You
tell him
know?
otherwise.
Yeah. So she like reads it and I don't think she's understanding. And that's when he finally tells her, look at the final word in the second and fourth line,
Mm,
unusual and Q. And then she looks at the other poem that had slang and conflagration. And she's like, it was her words, the words that she didn't know.
mm.
And let's see, he says they were just too interesting to pass up. And then, yeah, this is when he talks about being that they had contests to see who could write the dirtiest limericks.
Courteous limericks.
um, so he does not like to lose, and therefore he was the best.
Oh yes.
Of course, he was.
Little Tamlin, dirty jokes. I don't feel like that's something I would tell a girl if I was looking to date her, but whatever.
I mean, he does say that your words were too interesting, but for me to not try to write a poem with, but they're not good for a love poem. Like,
No,
so
yeah,
he
yeah.
really kind of lays it out there that he's like, yeah, I'm flirting here,
Yeah, sure, yeah.
and that's when he's like, but I
In
can't
case
tell a really dirty limerick.
but I can tell a super dirty limerick. Do you want to hear it? You want to hear my dirty limerick?
I mean, I feel like it's like his way of, like how guys at the bar will, talk about like, oh, I'm so big or I do this thing the best. It's like,
Right.
stop.
Right, yeah, no.
Like you're just
He's
talking.
just he's just not very suave, really. If we're really
No,
being honest, he's
no.
all looks and no.
Substance.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that just summarizes Tamlin in a nutshell, really.
There's not a lot of growth in Tamlin.
No.
No.
Um, but yeah, so they talk about this. Um, are we getting where? Hold on.
Then this
They
is when the mating bond really gets talked about.
Yeah,
Um, we learn
talks
about Tam's
his go ahead.
family, his
Yeah, it's
parents, stuff like that.
and we learned that maybe they weren't his father, his brothers. I don't know if he talks about his mother, but at least his father and brothers maybe weren't the kindest of people. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, because they talk
he
about the mating bond, about the slaves that they held.
right. Yep.
So there's a bit of a past here to Tamlin. I don't know his surname's family.
I don't. Did they ever say it?
I don't think they ever give us a surname for
Yeah.
Tamlin.
But yeah, so he kind of says that I don't, that's not how I roll. And he's like, so that's why I joined the war band. So I figured if I don't want to be, if I don't want what my father's got, I don't like what they got going on, I'll just go to war and that way I don't have to be around. But his family's killed. I don't remember
His
the
family.
details. Um,
Let's see.
but they get killed and he eventually has kind of no choice but to take up the High Lord title.
Yeah.
Um, it
Yeah, I
seems
don't know
like
that they really go into a lot of depth. Basically, just that, yeah, he trained and fought. They were killed by the High Lord of an enemy court. That's all it says.
okay. So yeah, when he takes up the court, not everyone stayed.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's kind of it as far as the discussion.
I
And
mean, yeah, yeah, because then, they talk about, let's see,
because then they start
kind
talking
of,
about
he
uh,
wasn't the firstborn. Like, so he wasn't the first. So, like, he
right,
was not the heir to the spring court.
who's not supposed to be.
He was not, but because everybody else was killed,
Kind of had no
he
choice, yeah.
he was like, at least the way he makes it sound, that like, they always talk about the heir and the spare. He was the spare of the spare of the
Spare the
spare.
spare. Yeah, yeah.
Like he was
He
so
was
far
never
down.
he was never supposed to take this position. No.
No, and he was never trained to be the High Lord.
He was a warrior, not a politician, kind of a thing.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I kind of want to point this part out
yes.
because it won't mean anything for a very long time, but he definitely expresses some disdain for his, for his family and how they did things,
Mm.
which conflicts with how some of his actions happen, some of his later actions in a second book that might or may not be being read at this particular time.
You might, yeah. Well,
Anyway,
we gotta. It's
I
all the
gotta,
behind the scenes stuff, guys.
yeah, I
Maybe if
gotta
we
fill it with
ever, maybe if
something.
we ever start a Patreon because there's enough of you to justify it, you'll get to know about when we're reading things.
Cat, come on, move, please. Like I need to see. Thank you. Go on.
Miss Nova
She
makes
is
her
extra,
weekly
extra.
appearance.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, they end up seeing some bonfires being built, and Tamlin explains that they're setting up for Callan Mai.
That's kind of yeah how I
Callan
pronounce
Mai.
it.
Yeah. Also known as Fire Night.
Fire Night.
Then yeah, and he explains that this is a very important, and his attitude kind of changes when he starts talking about it, and
Hmm.
we don't know why.
Well, because part of it is it's very ritual based and it is
Hmm.
something that is very particular for his court. It is a spring ceremony.
Hmm.
So we know he is head of the spring court. So this is very important to him and like the people that live in the spring court with him.
And it's important because it generates like all, not all of it, but a lot of, or maybe all of it, the magic of the court. It's kind of like this channeling ceremony that is
Yeah.
just pivotal for the spring court. And that Farah is not invited.
Yeah, no, she's not she is
So
not it. She is not invited
she's
one
not supposed
bit.
to go. So guess what?
She's gonna go.
She's gonna go. We don't even need to get to that chapter because
She
we
is
already
so
know.
predictable.
We already know. Tell
I
me
mean,
not to
we
do
all knew.
something.
I
Tell me not to put
mean,
my life in danger.
I
Show
the
you.
I was when I first read this part, I went, well, I guess we're going to fire night. Like
Yep.
I
So
immediately was like,
this is happening. Okay, great. It's just like, I mean, like being predictable is one thing, but man, it's like you would hope that she would learn her lesson at this point. I'm not sure why SJM decided that no, we're just gonna keep going with this.
it
Like why buck the trend?
no, it's true. It's just like well, and it's just very basic. Like obviously, like Fire Night is going to build to something because we're going to learn more
Yeah.
and more as we till we get there about this ceremony and why we need to generate all of this magic.
And how else would we learn about it unless Farah
Someone decides
to
to
just not
just
listen?
go walk about.
Not like provoked or had to go for some reason or like felt like it was, or maybe
Yeah.
like some kind of MacGuffin driving her in that direction. No, just don't fucking tell me what to do. I'm gonna go.
Yep.
Can't
Oh,
tell
and
me
she's
what to do.
immediately
Anyway,
tense about it too, because she even
yeah.
says that it was sort of a tense silence. Well, after he tells her you're not invited, you are going to stay in your room.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, he does. He tells her stay hidden, and no matter what you hear, don't come out.
Don't come out. But they get interrupted by, well, suddenly
Yes.
the tone shifts and Tamerlane's like, go hide right
Yep.
now. Like just get out of sight. Like
Hmm.
don't come out for anything until I don't know, until like I tell you otherwise or something like that.
Yeah.
And he starts to walk away and Lucian ends up joining Tamlin
Hmm.
and they start talking to nothing, to
Someone who wasn't there is
there,
how
right.
it's.
Something invisible, something or not there. We're not given a whole lot of detail, but she does hear it though, from what I
Mhm.
remember. And it's got this real sinister voice, and it's the voice alone sends, the dagger like something down her spine. I don't know, I'm just making it up. I don't really remember what they say, but it's all on
I
those
mean, it's
lines.
not.
That's
It is just it's a low, disembodied voice. It
maybe,
definitely causes her to shiver.
yeah.
Even though it's a warm day. So there's something sinister about it. And the fact that they're basically telling him that you're gaining a lot of interest down there in the spring court. Um,
Down there or down there under. Wait, who's that? He's gaining interest
Your
in
continued behavior is garnering a lot of interest at court, the voice said.
at court. Okay.
She had begun wondering why you haven't given up yet and why Naga wound up dead not too long ago.
So stuff is
So,
reaching
so
other borders, so to speak.
Tamlin's in something, and we don't get the full details of what's going on with Tamlin for a while. And I think this is one of the very first like nail on the head moments of like Tamlin is involved in something greater than everything we already know.
Right. I mean, and we got a taste of this before when Lucian and Tamlin were arguing about something, and but yeah, it's
Mhm.
obviously like this is just more building to something bigger to than just what Feyre, just something bigger than Feyre and Tamlin having sex essentially,
Right.
because
And
that's what I'm here for, and it's not
no,
happening.
it's not happening.
That's just, just
Lucian
kidding.
is very productive of Timmy Tam.
Timmy,
um,
Timmy,
and is like standing up to this disembodied voice, who then
Timmy.
basically says, "You speak so ill of she who holds your fate in her hands."
Sorry, the cat just like hauled off and bit me and then slapped my finger. I was petting you.
Well,
And now I wish I could show you this look. Oh my gosh. I can't turn it,
good luck.
unfortunately. Dude,
Good
it's
luck.
just like it's just pissed. Like, why are you
Well,
anyway, moving on.
we don't have
Eh,
boundaries. So
no.
yeah, so
Yeah, have this
we know we get this mysterious she
woman again. Yep.
again. Um, she apparently holds their fate in her hands.
Yeah.
So she's got some power over Lucian and Tamlin. We don't know
Yes.
what power that is, but we do know that,
She's
yeah,
important for some
she's
reason.
important.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And probably your main antagonist, it would seem.
It would seem. Um,
Yeah, so anyway, it it expresses that, um again, mentioning that Tamlin is getting like or he feels such fear in spite of his heart of stone. This is
mhm.
important. And they make sure that um well, SJM repeats this and it becomes important later. You've read the book. I'm guessing people listening have read the book and they remember this. But anyway,
At least they've
uh
read this portion. Ideally,
sure.
they've read this portion of the book.
Yeah. Um so then something happens and it disappears. I think there's some sound that indicates that it's leaving. I forget how Farah describes it.
Lucian
Um,
definitely kind of tells him off, tells him to burn in hell. There's a
mhm.
laugh before the flap of leathery wings boomed. A
That's
foul
it.
wind bit my face, and everything went silent. And this is when Tamlin's like, "It's gone," and he like
You can come
pulls
out
her
now.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. She asks what it is. We learn it is an Ador,
Hmm.
a creature who lives up to the terrifying myths of humans believing. Ooh, myths humans have about fairies. There we go.
Yes.
So that is pretty much the end of the chapter.
Yep. Obviously, we're concerned about hoping the adder didn't realize that Feyre was there.
Right.
Um, and basically, they question Feyre, just wanting to make sure, like, they're like, "What did you hear?" And
Hmm.
she's like, "Nothing," or at least
Nothing.
nothing I understood. So she's
Yeah.
actually being a little more honest. I mean, I like that she still immediately goes to what? What? It's like, it's
Here,
what wolf? What?
did I hear something? I didn't hear
I
anything.
don't hear anything. I'm deaf in this ear. Didn't you know?
What did you
What
hear?
did you hear? Right. She immediately still always goes to that denial and then goes, well, it's not anything I understood. So
Right.
I heard things, but I don't know what any of it means. And therefore, it's not something you need to worry your pretty little Timmy Tam head about.
Timmy Tam. Yep. Yeah.
And yeah, so there's the end of the chapter.
Yeah.
Chapter
Ch-
20.
Chapter 20.
We
Um,
have some dinner. She goes to her room
she starts to hear and see things at her window, glow of
and
fire.
decides to paint the adder.
Okay. Is that before this? Either
That's
doesn't
before Fire
matter.
Night.
Okay.
So that's
So
literally like this is how she's kind of coping with this the store that this is the adder had come to visit them, and so she paints it, and she finished it just in time for a fire night.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because she wanted Alice to let her help
With Fire Knight,
with reparations for fire night.
right? Because of
Um,
course she did. Of course.
because as she puts it, anything to avoid going in the garden because she does not want to see Tamlin and Lucian or possibly the adder again.
Yeah.
Like she's shook.
Yes.
I'm just picturing like a giant bat and thinking it's probably pretty cute, but that's
Oh, that's so cute.
it's so cute.
Its breath smells like
I
carrion,
feel
but
like
it's so
it's
cute.
fun. It's so cute. Have you ever seen a baby bat eat a banana? It's adorable.
I have.
I
TikTok has
mean,
shown me lots of things.
right.
Yeah. And it is very cute. I think bats are cute. Bats are cute.
Bats are adorable.
Bats are cute. Yes. I like bats.
So,
I don't think this thing is cute, but
I mean, it's kind of cute.
it could
It's
be
kind of
cute.
angry, but it's
It is
kind of
kind of
cute
big.
too. So,
I don't
okay,
know.
I'm gonna do a little fancy.
Are we gonna see some pictures of some
We're gonna
adder
shoot the
adder?
adder. Yeah.
Ator. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, that is adorable. Oh,
It's
that's
so
just
cute. Look at its
so
little nose.
cute. Look at his nose and his little teeth.
With the little teethies. Look at
Yeah,
all that, man.
that's just cute. That's all that is. Yeah.
Yeah. I love fan art.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's real good.
That's a real good. I thought
That
that was
is
the best one.
that is better than what I pictured in my head. Put
It
it that
really
way.
is.
Yeah.
This is
This is
funny.
good. That's good.
All right, Reddit. Um,
A little Ridley versus Zelda there. Good.
mhm.
Okay, that's more like what I pictured, except with like a long snout.
Yeah, I definitely picture more bat, dragon, wyvern.
Sure.
Um, see, look,
Oh
dragon.
no, nah, not a dragon. No way. Less dragon.
I like this like Pokemon
Yeah,
type,
Pokemon.
the Pokédex adder.
Uh-huh. Yep.
If the adder
Good.
was a Pokemon, in
There it is.
case you were wondering.
And now you know.
And there you have it. But no, this is also I think pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
But I will say the one I just that fan art I found from Insta,
I like the yeah, that one's really good. I also
that
like
one's so
the
good.
Monsters
But
Inc.
I
What's
don't want to
its
be on.
name?
Oh, the Randall.
Randall, yeah. It's like Randall. Basically put wings on it. Put
Yeah,
wings on Randall and you got the adder.
it's pretty close. I would say. Like I think
Mm-hmm. This must happen at some point. I don't know what this is.
I don't know what this is. Yeah,
Perhaps
but
we'll
yeah,
find
there
out.
there he is in all of his handsome glory. The adder.
The adder.
Look at those long
Yes.
fingers.
Oh yeah, and crooked too.
Mhm.
Just to boot.
Yeah.
And like I like the the furry forearms, I'll say.
Yeah, yeah. Very bad.
Um
It's very much like a mutated bat. Like that's kind of what I get from that.
yeah,
Is it's
mutated
like,
bat.
yeah, like it is an evil bat.
Pretty sure the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did that.
Yeah.
Mutant bat. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
man bat, Batman.
Is the adder, do we know this is a real mythical creature? The
Hmm.
adder? I keep saying it so I get it right. Adder, Ator, adder, adder.
Yeah, I think it's adder. I
Hmm.
am not aware of it in mythology.
Same.
Um,
It's an Anglo-Saxon baby name,
okay.
according to Google.
No, it looks like it is something. Okay, here we go. So according to mythicalcreaturesandbeasts.com, if this can be believed. They are
I
a
don't
3 meter
know.
long body with a scorpion head, 8 snow crab legs.
Snow crab legs, not king.
Nope, snow.
Snow crabs.
The right pincer is a snow crab's and the left is that of a lobster. The claws secrete a paralyzing venom and it spits acid. The
Latter
latter
two
two-thirds
thirds.
of its body is a cobra.
That 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 seems frightening a little
That's a
bit.
lot.
That is a lot going on. Snow crab legs.
Yeah, it looks like it goes back to a little bit
If it
of
has king crab, it's not an adder. It's something else. If
it's
it
it
has the king crab
obviously
in it,
only snow because I
only
can
snow crab.
identify a snow crab claw from a king crab
It's
claw.
it's easy,
So,
easy.
oh well,
Yeah.
I need to get up on my shellfish anatomy. Very shellfish of me to not know.
Oh,
That
good one. That's a good one. I like it.
was bad. I hate myself for that.
No, no, puns are fun. I like puns.
So,
Yes.
yep. So
So
we are
so
terrified.
she paints the creature, or at least what she
Mhm.
thinks it looks like, which hint hint,
Yeah.
pretty close.
We are pretty close. Yeah.
Even though
Tall, skeletonly thin gray.
even though she didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes you wonder. Anyway,
Well, they
and
do
we
talk
know
about there is human legends of the adder. So part of me just feels like she must be drawing on those legends
that could be,
because it
or
has a folklore within the book.
or
Or
magic,
magic.
maybe. But she didn't smell magic, which is also kind of funny if you notice, if you think about it. It's oddly didn't smell any magic, even though.
Mm,
Anyway,
yeah, it's
yeah.
odd. It's what is, yeah, where's the magic and when does it happen? Yeah,
I think SJM just forgot.
she could have.
Yeah.
Or she's like, they already know it's going to be there. They don't need to mention it again.
Yeah. I mean, like you could read it a lot into it, but I don't really. That's just me being the um, conspiracy theorist
Yes.
that I am not.
So
Yeah.
the day of Fire Night dawns,
Fire Night, Fire Night, Fire Night.
and
It's
she
here.
has not cannot find them anywhere. Tamlin and Lucian gone.
Nope.
Nope.
Alice, at this point, she's gone too, I believe.
Yeah, kind of everyone is
It's
gone.
empty.
Yeah, the kitchen was empty
Um,
of staff. The food had been they'd been preparing for 2 days, and then the sound of drums as dusk
um,
dawns. There's like she just kind of was had the place to herself,
mhm.
and then everyone's gone, and then the drum beats came from far away beyond the garden, past the game park, and into the forest that lay beyond.
Done. That's it. And she goes to bed, wakes up the next morning after Fire Night's over.
And that's it, guys. That was Fire Night.
That was Fire Night. Next
In,
chapter.
in an
Mhm.
alternative universe.
Right. What actually like kind of like the end of Clue, what actually happened, or
Right.
what yeah. I
Oh
love
god, I haven't
Clue.
watched that movie in so long.
That's so good. Anyway, yeah, so she does what Farah does and leaves her room. And she's wandering around and
Mhm.
runs into Tamlin.
Um,
And he
yeah,
is dressed or
he was
not
shirtless with only the
dressed.
baldric across his muscled chest,
So it muscles. In case
and
you
the
forgot,
pommel of his sword glinted golden in the dying sunlight, and the feathered tops of arrows were stained red as they poked above his broad shoulder. I
his
stared at him
palm.
and he watched me back, the warrior incarnate.
The only thing she's staring at that pommel. I'm
Oh,
gonna tell
yes,
you
she is.
what. I'm gonna
Yes,
tell you
she
what.
is. It's the first time she mentions it, and she makes sure she mentions it.
Thirst meter. Take it up.
Take it up, Bob.
Take it up, Bob. Way up there. Keep going.
And then I love how she plays dumb. She knows
What's
it's Fire Night. Oh,
what's
well, where are
going
you
on?
going?
That's new? Oh, hi. You're like painted.
Yeah.
Like that's how I imagine this. Just like, oh, I just
Where are
didn't
you
know.
going? What are you doing?
Right.
What do you have to do that you have to go? You know?
And do it shirtless with
Right.
weapons. That's why I was cracking up. I'm like,
It's so funny.
yeah, it's just like I don't know if it's like a thing. Like maybe she's like, oh, I bet some people would like to see him like half naked but with weapons. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure. All
And
right,
yeah.
I'm kind of hip to that. Yeah, all right.
I just, yeah. And so it's, well, as the High Lord, I have to partake in the great right. What's the great right? Go to your chamber.
But I feel like I'm talking to my 2-year-old.
Right.
Go to your chamber. Lock the
No,
door.
do
Why?
not come
Okay.
out.
Right, do not come out. Look, just for once, let me tell you to do something without having to
Right.
explain, please.
That's exactly what's happening. Where are you
Yes.
going? It's fire night. Well, what do you got to go do?
What
Well, I got to participate. What do you got
I
to
got?
participate
Why do
in?
I participate? Because if we don't, the magic won't come. Well, why won't the magic come? Oh my God.
Exactly. It is
Do
like a
you
conversation with a
at this?
toddler.
What really would have happened was him would be like, "Do you want magic? Do you want magic in this place? I want magic. Okay, like I gotta do this." Like that's where I would have went immediately. I just be like, "Look, all right, just go to your room. I mean, get
Hmm.
chambers."
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
just
And
so
then he does as any parent. Are you going into battle? Stay in your chamber. Please.
please.
Please. Just please. Go to
Okay,
your chamber and stay.
19 years old.
19 years old.
19. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But like she's acting like she's like
She's
9.
acting like she's 3.
Right. This is true.
She
Anyway,
does do what he asks. She
she
goes to her chamber,
for a while.
locked herself in there. She's watching kind of out the window and pacing. She is pacing.
Oh, she
Girlfriend is restless.
yes. I mean, admittedly, I would be too. It's like there is a party going on out there, and I
In
am not
well, yeah.
invited.
Incessant drumming, dozens
Mhm.
of bonfires are popping up across the hills. Like, so
Yep.
yeah, of course the devil on your shoulders and be like, you should go. You should go
Yeah.
see what's going
And
on.
then the angel's like, "Yeah, no, we should definitely check this out." Like, yeah, like she has no conscience. It's just everyone's just on board for her getting the fuck out of this room.
And I
And
will say she does like for a few hours because she goes by 10 o'clock because she hasn't eaten dinner. So figure it's dusk, it's spring. So I'm assuming that's like standard time. So they don't spring forward in Prithian.
sure,
So the sun is probably setting by 4:30, 5 o'clock. So
maybe,
she's probably spent a
probably
good four
later
to
than
five
that.
hours.
I would say probably later than that. I'm gonna say like 6.
Okay, so 6 o'clock.
Okay, we'll go
We'll split the
6.
difference.
Yeah,
Six
no, 6.
o'clock.
No, she's doing good. Like, and you're stuck in your chamber for the whole time. No, that's it's like give me some toys or video game or something, Tamlin. Come on, like, need
Well,
something
well,
else.
she can't read.
Okay, sure. Like she
Well,
got you have
a
something
normal
to
person
do
would have read a book. She
for
cannot
sure.
do so.
She can't do that.
No. I also am just picturing like old medieval castles, that don't actually have like glass.
So it's just an open window.
So it's just like this open window.
All these fumes coming in,
So
all the
all she's getting
smell.
is
It's just
all the smoke, all the food. She's hearing just all the drums. Like there is no escaping the fact that
just
she is not there.
really this is Tamlin's fault. This is what's
It
going on.
really
It's
is as if he
fucking
would have
Tamlin.
invested in soundproof windows
Or just like hired somebody to be like, hey, just entertain her for like, I don't know, like the night. Could you
for
just do
12
something
hours.
for
Just
12 hours?
entertain. I'm sure a dark stranger that we are going to meet soon would be more than willing to do
Yeah.
such.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You would have signed right up for
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yes, he would. He'd have been like all for it. Yeah, like this is fun.
Yeah, and
So
so she
yeah, she
can't do.
goes.
She goes. She has
She
to go.
goes. She has to go. She can't. So she decides to kind of blend in with there's all these fairies kind of like
Mhm.
walking towards
So
this area or
yeah.
towards one location, and she ends up finding that there is this
Okay.
oh, you're gonna stop me for something. Good.
I am because she wants to blend in because she's wearing, her hooded cloak. But we made sure to grab our white mare. Not just any horse that's there. No, no, no. My white mare.
And I'm gonna ride there while everyone else is
But right
walking,
there. Hmm.
probably. It's
Yeah.
just like
I mean, 19. But like, girlfriend, you're trying to be stealthy.
no, it's just she does
I mean,
not. She has 0 fucks. Like she's
but
just
she's putting enough, like, I put the cloak up. I'm
mhm.
concealed
Right,
in my hooded cloak.
as if like no. That's the thing that got me. It's like, oh yeah, no one's gonna know that you're human because they can't
Right.
just like smell you. It seems, it's like
Right.
Tamlin just found you in your house. How did he do that? I don't know. Probably just like
Sniffed you out.
just use a a dowling rod or dowsing rod are just like, oh, there she is. No, he like they got powers. Like they know.
They do. They
Uh,
definitely do.
and they do because oh well, first she gets to the cave. There's the mouth of a cave, and there's like,
Well, no,
and there
she sees
is
a bonfire first.
okay, all right, bonfire.
Yeah, and she's on her mare. She doesn't. Then she dismounts and makes her way through the crowd.
There's like
Um,
drinks and there's party favors and there's
yep.
like the buffet
Drummers are playing on one
table,
side, people are dancing on the
musicians.
other. Um, no one is paying attention to her.
No, not yet.
And then this is when she goes down to the cave.
hmm But it's that it not just a cave, or it is a cave, or well, I don't know. It's a cave regardless. On either side of the cave are rows of women. No,
Mhm.
fairies. I don't remember if they're women or not.
Shadowy fairies
Shadowy
is all
fairies.
it
Okay.
says.
Um, and they're just kind of like I don't know, what do you call it? Like hypnotically just kind of grooving to the drums, right?
Everyone's just vibing.
Just
Like
totally vibing. And here
I
comes Farah, ruin everything.
I
Just
feel
kidding.
like this is what happens when like a whole bunch of people share a bunch of like weed
Uh-huh.
and drink
hmm
and just kind of listen to music. And so they just are kind of,
Just kind of like,
well,
just
we're here,
feeling
we're
it a little bit,
ready. We're
like
yeah, we have the drums coursing through us.
just feeling the music.
Yeah.
But that doesn't last long because three fairies surround Farah and
Yeah.
they're kind of like, we were gonna have some fun. And it's like,
Yeah.
is this supposed to be kind of like, well, I don't know. Like, are they going to eat her? Are they going to assault her? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Either way, it was like she's obviously, they like take her aside and they take her somewhere. I forget where, but it was a little bit
They
further
don't
away.
really take her anywhere. Like,
Oh, they
cause yeah,
don't?
they
Okay.
just kind of grab her.
Just where she is.
Yeah, human woman. We haven't seen one in a long time. I tried yanking my arm back, but he held my elbow firm. Yeah, and two fairies flanked him and smiled, and they grabbed her other arm as she
hmm
tried to pull her knife. And kind of that was it. I mean, they don't really take her too far. She's definitely like not in the center of everything, but everyone at the bonfire is, I think, just they're vibing and they're not paying any attention
Yeah,
to
yeah, I got you. Yeah. Or it's
like
just
what's
like
going on.
there's a lot of stuff going on that, you know, probably no one would know the difference. But
I
they're
definitely read it, especially knowing what I know later.
uh-huh.
I do interpret it as like they say some fire night fun. So I do feel like there is probably some sort of sexual
Yeah.
motive.
That's what I was getting, or like a little bit of both, because I don't know. We don't know what kind of fairies they are, and we've kind of learned up to this
Mhm.
point that some might be willing to.
They were non-mass, so we know they're not of the spring court.
Right. I forgot about that part.
Yep.
So they're kind of handling her, and one pushes her, or something
Mhm.
of the sort. But before she can fall, she's gripped, an arm around her. It
Yeah,
kind of
so she's
pulls
stopping
her
it.
up.
They herd her toward the line of trees toward darkness. So just
Okay,
out of the
that's
firelight is all they do.
yeah.
Um, and then yeah, then all of a sudden there were strong hands, warm and broad, not
hmm
at all like the prodding bony fingers of the three fairies who went utterly still as whoever caught me gently set me upright. There
hmm
you are. I've been looking for you.
Oh, yes.
Said a deep, sensual male voice I'd never heard.
Okay, we need a new meter. Put up another meter.
We
Yes,
need a
Bob,
new
next to
theater.
the other one. Put it
Yes,
up. Okay, we got two
while he works
meters.
on that.
All
So, okay, weird little aside I want to jump off of this is this from this moment.
right.
There you are. I've been looking for you.
Uh-huh.
I immediately picture the scene in Howl's Moving Castle when Howl finds Sophie
It's been too long.
for the first, it's literally the first like 10 minutes of this movie.
Okay.
Sophie is all of a sudden, the guards are like kind of trying to flirt with her, kind of like, oh, where are you going? Hey, what
hmm
you doing? And
Uh-huh.
Hal walks up and he goes, "Oh, well, there you are, sweetheart.
Yeah,
I've been
just like
looking all over for
I'm
you."
looking for you, and here you are. You
Ah,
know,
because
I,
our protector has arrived.
yeah. Or well, is he? Yeah. Well, we'll
Yeah,
see.
our protector has arrived. At least in
Or
this
protects-
instance,
This is true.
this is our
Yes, this
protector.
is our yeah. Our this is our dude right now.
Yep.
Because the three do not hesitate to get the fuck out. I mean, I think
Nope,
he
they're
does say
done.
something. He does say something to him, I think, but
Well,
it's
oh
pretty
yeah. Well,
obvious.
he very much just says, "Thank you for finding her for
Yeah,
me.
okay, there it is.
Go
Yeah.
enjoy the ride."
It's just like I just imagine just like go enjoy yourselves. Like, go
And
on.
they just head on back to the bonfire, and she
Like
steps out of the shelter of his arms.
and thanks him. Thanks the or is this where she hold on.
This she
The
tries to
most
thank the most
beautiful
beautiful
you've
man she'd ever
ever
seen.
seen. Sorry. You done yet? No, he's still working on it, but we'll
Okay,
get it
so
up
I'll
there.
quote this literally is the last two lines of this chapter.
Okay.
I stepped out of the shelter of my Savior's arm and turned to thank him. Standing before me was the most beautiful man I'd ever seen. Okay, that's
At
high
some
praise.
at some point though, there's like these diminishing returns. It's like the most beautiful. Wait, oh, hold on, wait. No, he's the most beautiful. Oh, okay, hold on. No, wait. He's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. It's like, okay,
We
when
don't even, oh no, in most beautiful male I have ever
male,
seen.
male. Okay,
Like,
sure.
because she
Make
does
that
not even
distinction.
distinguish human versus fae.
Just this thing
This
is
guy right
hot.
here.
It
Yeah.
is sexy.
She is down to clown.
Yes. Tama who? I'm sorry,
Who?
Tamiflu?
Timmy,
No,
what?
he's cool. He's gone. Tamiflu's gone.
Tamiflu.
He's out of here. I don't know. Forget him. Who? What's your name again? Excuse
Yeah,
me.
hello, sir.
Hi.
Dark stranger.
Dark Strange. Yeah. Yep.
Mr. Most beautiful man in the world.
So good. Okay, yeah. So
So,
and that
chapter
moves us into
21.
chapter 21. Um,
Everything about the stranger radiated sensual grace and ease. High fae, no doubt. Short
for
black
sure.
hair gleamed like a raven's feathers, offsetting his pale skin and blue eyes so deep they were violet.
Whew. Keep going. Don't stop
They
now.
twinkled with amusement as he beheld me. For a moment, we said nothing. Thank you didn't seem to cover what he'd done for me. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Up, up,
just
up, up.
just yeah, raise the other one. Yeah, what are we at? 1200? Okay. 1200, right? 1200.
Oh, 12,000.
12,000. Yeah, okay.
He too
12,
wasn't wearing a mask, so he was definitely from another court.
mm-hmm.
This is, listen to how she talks about this guy.
I'd love
So
to. This is my
he
favorite part.
asked her, half smiled and a half smile played on his lips, and he asked, "What's she doing here on Fire Night as a mortal woman?" His voice was a lover's purr that sent shivers through me, caressing every muscle and bone and nerve.
I mean, come on. Like that Tamerlane's obviously not
Tamlin
putting
causes
out.
nothing to shiver.
No, right. Yeah, exactly.
You're like, whoa, all right, sir.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about.
This is
And then
what you're here for.
and this yes, absolutely. And this dude just steps in and is like,
Mm-hmm.
would you like to have sex, please? Which is not what happens, but anyway.
No, I wish though.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would have been
It'd be
good.
yeah, it's like, what'd you do last night? Well, I don't know. What'd you do last night? That's
That's
how
who I
Tamlin
named.
is.
What's
I think that's what you really mean. Oh shit, I fucked this up, didn't I? Anyway.
Yep.
Of
So she's again, she lies because all favor does is
course.
lie.
Yeah. Well,
And
in her defense, she has
she has
no
no
idea
idea
who
who
this
this
guy
guy is.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but she does again mention that all of his clothes were finely made, cut close enough to his body that I could see how magnificent he was.
Higher. Keep
Higher.
going.
He is
Keep going.
magnificent.
Farah, in our world, we just call that fitted. Okay. But
Oh,
you do you. If you're thirsty, I get it.
he's fit. That's
That's
absolutely true. He was still smiling at me, a predator sizing up prey.
So at this point, reading this, I'm like, okay, so are they playing him like the entire time we talk about Tamlin, it's like super bulgy muscles,
Oh yeah.
bulgy muscle feral dude, right?
Yeah.
And then we start talking about this gentleman, and it's all like super sexy feline, but with like this,
Yeah.
but she also uses words like predator or predator, which makes me think like, okay, so is this guy bad? So this is a bad guy. Like my thought was like, okay, so she's meeting a bad guy. And that was my and I'm like, and I this is my question to you is like,
Okay.
was that a prop? Did I read that properly? Like, is this guy being made out to be a bad guy, or is he just made out to be kind of sexy dude? Or
So,
I mean,
okay.
or both, obviously.
I don't. So for me, I think we're definitely trying to build that this guy is an antagonist of
Okay.
some sort.
Yes, that's what. Okay, that was my
Because like
interpretation.
she talks about how his arrogance makes her bristle and he prowls and there's these things like she definitely does like talking about him as a predator. But like this is like very much the setup of an enemies to lovers,
Ah, okay,
which
okay.
is one of my favorite tropes.
You love it. I know you
I
do.
do. I
Yes.
love me a villain. Morally gray is my favorite color. Um, like,
Where
and
does it fall in the rainbow? I don't know, but
you
I
don't need
love
to
it.
know. Doesn't matter.
It's somewhere near the
Doesn't matter.
bottom.
It's the best. Um, so yes, like we are absolutely like I feel like at this point, based just purely on like how she's kind of talking, he definitely matches her because she thinks she's real smart.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And
For
he
whatever
matches her
reason.
wit for wit.
Yeah.
Like every lie, he's got a question to follow up that lie. Who are your
Complete.
friends? Oh, these two ladies. What are their names? Uh, uh, uh.
They don't have names. It's
Because
silly.
I made them up.
Yeah. Let's talk about your bulge.
Right. For real. For real. Um, so yeah, like, and so it's definitely, I think it's setting up a potential third
Sure.
love interest.
Now, see, in this instance, I would believe it because we
Oh yeah,
got,
no, it's definitely two. Like Lucian, if there was ever a chance for Lucian, it is now gone because of our most beautiful man in the world.
most beautiful man in the world. He is
uh,
the most beautiful man in the world. Yes.
yeah, the most interesting man in the world.
Okay.
He does
Yeah.
not always save mortals from fairies, but when he does, he is the most interesting man in the
He
world.
is the most interesting man in the world. Um, I I like how this guy is the complete opposite of
Oh,
Tamlin.
everything.
It's just
Everything.
like Tamlin is like bright and like golden, blue-eyed, just like tone or yeah, I think he's got like, like uh toned skin.
He's very
Um
sun kissed. Like he is very
sun-kissed,
much
yeah,
of
that's what
that like spring court. Like he's just
yes.
bronze. So okay,
Okay.
I had this thought that this is very much like I picture Tamlin as like Hercules,
Yes. Feeling it.
just like the epitome of strength and masculinity and just like this golden god.
Uh-huh.
And then you get this stranger who's kind of like that low key, sexy Hades.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Like he is
Like
master of the darkness, and you
just
are interested in that darkness.
and you are about it. You are about
You
that
are here
darkness.
for this.
But it's also like he's obviously like I hate to say it, like the intellect is
Oh,
apparent
it's
almost,
there.
or at least his wits. He's very.
Oh, he's very witty.
And who doesn't like a witty character? Who doesn't like
It's true.
the swarthy, um. Please don't do that. Hey,
Please do
please
not.
don't. Sorry. Please don't. Please don't. Go on. Please don't do that. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully nothing goes badly here. She's messing with anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's just like the antithesis of Tamlin, and I love it.
Oh,
And
it's so good.
immediately was like, nah, I found my favorite character of this book.
Oh,
Look at
We don't even know who he is.
Don't even know your name. Don't even, I don't need to know, dude. I don't need to know this dude's
Oh,
name.
that's true because we love the mercenary from the very like second chapter.
That's true.
So
That's true. I don't need to
so now it's
Fira,
Dark
girl,
Stranger saves her on Fire Night, Mercenary,
mercenary,
Lucian,
Lucian. Yeah, okay. There it is. Done.
Nesta,
Yeah, yeah, Nesta, Alice.
Alice,
Alice.
Feyre Tamlin.
Who?
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 Timmy Tam?
Timmy
Tampon?
Tam. Tampon. Tamarind paste. Tam.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to call him.
It's all good.
He is definitely the least. So yeah, so they're but kind of
Poor
a
Tam.
more back and forth between her and this dark stranger who was
Yeah.
terrifying,
Yes, but also beautiful.
but also beautiful, and we are in love.
And yep,
And he is, he does. He's like, well, they brought you to the great right, huh? And then they left you alone.
that doesn't seem right. That seems like a bad
No.
idea.
Oh, they went to get a drink.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so shockingly, he just kind of like,
He's
I'm
playing with
glad
her.
oh yeah, he's like, I'm glad I got to meet you, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And just, I forget, I do, if you can find the lines where he leaves, I remember there
Um,
being some very interesting descriptors as of him as he goes.
um, so
Um,
she obviously like they talk about that he's not of the spring
yeah.
court. Um, let's see. Um, oh, I like this one. He goes, the man's remarkable eyes seemed to glow with enough of a deadly edge that I backed up a step. Because all the monsters have been let out of their cages tonight, no matter what court they belong to. So I may roam wherever I wish until the dawn. I'm like, all right.
Okay. You can, hey, look, here's a map to my chamber room. You can roam right there, sir.
Yeah. Do you wanna go with me?
I
It's a
was
little
looking f
loud here. Do
it's
you want to go somewhere a little quieter?
sorry, what? I can't.
Like,
Let's just
come
go.
with me.
There's a white mare back there. It's just we
Yeah.
could just jump on that thing. Just the two of them galloping.
Enjoy the rite, I repeated as blandly as I could. I hurried back to the hollow, too aware of the fact that I was putting my back to him.
Okay, I thought he left her, but anyway, go ahead.
Nope, she took off.
The first smart thing she probably did.
I was gonna say the most and
Yeah.
well,
I mean, yeah,
knowing what we know in this moment,
sure.
smartest thing she's ever done.
I
Knowing what we
mean,
know in the future,
th-
dumb
dumb is
girl.
dumb. Yeah. Yep. But also, like, I mean, like, she could just stick around and be like, let's do a thing real quick, you know?
Mhm.
Like, you're probably evil, but Talon's not gonna care.
Yep. So she's
Anyway,
gets back to the fire.
and
She's kind of looking, I think, for a familiar face.
she finds one.
Oh, she certainly does. One russet and one brightly, shown as brightly as his red hair, and
Hmm.
the other was metal.
Yeah, Lucian just is like, what the
Ooh.
fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
Just like immediately into her, like, you
Oh,
fucked
he's
up.
so angry at her.
Yeah, and
I
she's
mean,
like,
he calls her an idiot, a useless human fool.
uh-huh.
And
Yeah, just like all the things. And she's like trying to be like, oh, I think she tries to defend herself or say something. And he's like,
well, yeah, she tries, I think she does try to say something, and he is just, I'm just going to keep calling you an idiot, a useless human fool. And then he picks her up and slings her over his shoulders like a sack of potatoes.
just like, we don't have time for this. Come on, let's
Yeah.
go. Just,
And then, despite my wriggling and shouts of protest, despite my demands to get my horse, he held firm and he was running fast back to
the
the
manner.
manor
Yes.
where he
Uh,
drops her right on the floor.
does he? I missed that.
He
I
does.
forgot
He
about that.
does. He goes, Lucian dropped me on the floor of the manor hallway, and when I steadied myself, I found his face just as pale as before. You stupid mortal, he snapped. Didn't he tell you to stay in your room?
Yeah, that's why I left.
That's why I left, exactly.
Uh-huh.
And this is when he tells
So,
her that this wasn't even the ceremony. Um, so she's being she says it herself. She's being a disobedient child, kind of arguing with him.
Yeah.
And they talk about the Great Right a little bit more.
That
Um,
he's that Tamlin will be overcome by his,
yes.
I mean,
So
overcome by his feralness. I don't think that's how they
yeah,
say
so
it, but
really
it's
we finally get that answer. It's
yeah.
Fire Night signals the official start of spring in Prithian,
Hmm.
as well as in the mortal world. So Fire Night happened last Wednesday, just in case you're
Thank you.
curious.
There were no bonfires
There
or
were not.
drums for our fire
No,
night,
I was
unfortunately.
very disappointed as a spring baby.
Oh yeah.
Very disappointed that there were no drums and no tall, dark strangers with violet eyes
Oh, I'm so sorry.
on my birthday,
On your birthday,
celebrating Fire Night.
we'll hire one for you next birthday.
Oh, that you know what? That's probably a good idea since next one's gonna be it's that 35, so it's a bit more of a milestone.
Okay, well, try hitting 40 in like 25, 30 days.
25. You're fine.
Yeah,
It's okay, old man.
I
We'll
know.
keep you young.
Keep reading these
I mean,
books. Might some
you
of
act
these.
like you're so extremely older than me. Like it's
No,
6 years. Like
it's not that much.
it's not that much.
My wife likes
So,
to my wife likes to argue otherwise, but
uh,
she loves to go with me about it. She's good about
well,
it.
my partner's the same age as you. He will also be having his 40th this year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it's all good.
Good for him. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway,
Yeah, we got two 40. Fabulous 40.
yeah, sure.
Ooh, I like it. Trying for a good, like, there's no good alliteration for 40, like Dirty 30.
30 30 is pretty good.
And it's 30, right?
30 30 is pretty good. So for 40, oh, we'll think of something.
We'll have to. Yeah.
Frolicking 40s. No,
No.
no,
No.
that's not it.
Close, but we got to work on
Okay.
that alliteration.
Yeah, yeah. He's
So
I
yeah, so spring is coming.
I give
Um,
you all the pets. I think you've had enough. Here, come on.
this is when they regenerate all of the magic for their crops. Um, and they do it by conducting the Great Rite, which
Great,
is
right. Does he
yeah,
does he tell her what
Tamlin
it is?
will. Yeah,
Oh,
she
he has
does.
to
He does.
go.
Tonight, Tamlin will allow great and terrible magic to enter his body. The magic will seize control of his mind, his body, his soul, and turn him into the hunter. It will fill him with his sole purpose to find the maiden.
But
So
he has
his
to kill
soul,
something. His sole purpose. But doesn't he have to like kill something? He has to go out and hunt something first? I thought that was something that he did. He had
no,
to go like, okay, maybe not then. Because like my thing is like, why has he got all the weapons then?
because it's Timmy Tam.
He's gotta have
He's a
them.
warrior.
He's, I dressed up in my leathers, my
So
swords.
what we're hearing is that
Yeah.
for any crops to be able to grow and be fruitful,
Yep.
Tamlin has to fuck.
He's got fuck. He got bone.
Yeah, he does.
It's just like I like how it's just like it enters his body and then he's gotta have sex.
No, and that's exactly what it is.
It's-
Oh,
and
he
I like
does.
how,
You are right. I totally
okay,
lied. He does hunt and kill a white
okay,
stag, kills it for the sacrificial offering, and then
and
he'll
then has
make his way
sex.
to the sacred cave where he'll find the path
Choose.
lined with fairy females waiting to be chosen as his mate for tonight.
And then I think it even goes as far as to say like, or maybe later he's like, oh, there could be more or something like that.
Well, it does, yeah. But you were there in other male fairies. So yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah, and then more fornicating happens with
more fornicating.
the rest of the maidens as
Yes.
basically it's basically an orgy. It is an
It
orgy.
does. It turns into a giant fairy
Orgy.
orgy.
Yes. It's
Which
like
is why like they were like, oh, a mortal woman, we haven't had one of them in a while. Like this
oh,
is
right.
here
This
we
is gonna be
go.
fun. You go get up in line over there. Get in
That's right.
line.
Yeah, tonight
Uh
is not for love making. Lucian really breaks her heart here.
yeah, but she's kind of hurt.
She
She's
is.
definitely like feels the stomach dropping kind of thing. Um
Well, because
as he's
basically
talking
they're
about
saying that it's for her protection because it wouldn't have been Tamlin if he had come to her.
no, it would have been this dark energy or
He
the
would have smelled her,
great
he would have claimed her, and it would not have been Tamlin. This would, and you wouldn't have
would
liked
not.
it.
Yes, it would not have been pleasant. It would have been.
I beg to disagree. Just based off of what is to come. in these next chap like
I
couple
mean,
paragraphs.
let's be honest, you probably disagree without even knowing the next.
I don't even know what's happening. It's true. I'm like, well,
I just like in our canon, this is how it really happens. She's like, and you would not have it. She just like puts her finger to Lucian's mouth, and just goes, shh, just like gives him a little pat on the face, like,
you
go
sweet
on,
summer
please.
child.
I'll be leaving now. And just like marches out the door.
Right. I'm gonna take my clothes off as I
Yeah,
go.
it's just like, all right,
Here we
all
go. Ah. So he puts her in her room, tells her to stay there, and
Stay
she does
put for a
fall
while.
asleep for a while.
Okay, she just fall asleep, yeah.
He falls
But then
asleep
wakes up, um,
because the
and
drums have stopped.
she's like, "Oh, it must be over."
Yep.
She's like, "How disappointing! Everyone got to have sex except me."
Yep. Yep.
She's
It's true.
she decides she's hungry,
Well, she
or
immediately
she
starts.
just
Well, first, like, let's talk about Feyre's weird insecurity.
okay. I don't remember this. Go ahead.
Because so she immediately, like, she wakes up because the drums have stopped. She can feel the magic sweeping across her. Well, he'd taken his time with the ritual, I guess. That girl was probably beautiful and charming and appealed to his instincts.
Mm,
I wonder if she was glad to be chosen. Like, she is
yeah,
like,
she's hurt by this. She's
she's
hurt.
really upset.
She's wrecked. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
just I do remember reading that and be like, oh yeah, this kind of does suck, like
Mhm.
I kind of wonder if it might have been a little easier if Tamlin had been like, yeah, hey, just so you know, tonight
I mean, if he would have
gonna
fucked
have
her in the
set.
pond,
Oh,
we wouldn't have this problem.
yeah, you might be right.
Like,
It's
I
just
mean,
like
but like honestly, like I'm thinking about this, like if I'm into this person, and it's like I think it's been made very apparent that Tamlin is interested in her
right, yes,
at the very least. I feel like if I would have shared even some sort of intimacy with this person,
been more comfortable with the latter or the
right?
yeah.
Because we would have opened the door to the intimacy of, hey, as High Lord, I have this duty. My duty
Mhm.
is to do this, and as part of this, I'm going to do this.
Or even just said something, yeah, like let her know, like, hey,
Like
this thing's
instead of
gonna
like trying
happen.
to hide it, which is I think where the hurt would actually come from,
Which is this character, which is
is the
Tamlin, and
dishonesty.
it's
Yeah.
it's just like,
He
and the reason
lies by
why,
omission all the
yes,
time.
and then there's one reason why I don't like this character because he's supposed to be portrayed as the good guy in this,
Yeah.
as one of the protagonists. Well, I mean, in the beginning, I guess he's kind of the antagonist of the story, but then shifts. But then he's supposed to be this good guy, and still he's taking on these bad guy traits of just like you said, omitting, like lying, not saying stuff, and it's like, okay, man, come on, like which develops in the second book, in some amazing ways, but
Well, it's like
instead of well, doesn't even make him an interesting character. It doesn't make him
no.
interesting. Like it'd be one thing if like it built up and like it's not that Tamlin's a bad guy or a good guy. It's
Mm-mm.
just not that interesting.
There's not a lot of depth in Tamlin at this point. And
There's
then to
more
see
there's
that basically they're cut from the same cloth. Where Farah just lies because it's what saves her, and so she just always is spitting lies out of her mouth. Tamlin lies by not telling her the truth
but
ever.
yeah, it just and I'm remiss to go into it too much, but I get that he thinks he's doing the right thing, but this is actually
There is no maliciousness in his. I don't believe he is malicious, but in not trying to not be malicious, he's hurting her a lot worse than if he would have been honest.
yes, this is like verbal abuse or like emotional
It
abuse.
is.
That's like, I'm not going to tell you this stuff because I'm protecting you. Or what's really happening is I'm not going to tell you this stuff because I want to try and control you,
Yeah.
which is kind of freaky stuff, which is kind of messed up. But I don't,
Yeah.
again, that this is it's kind of getting ahead of itself. Like
We
Tamlin
we
is
we absolutely are like getting ahead, but like I think it's
sure.
it's definitely I think an interesting kind of to look at this now and kind of
Yeah, because
see.
yeah, with foresight. Um, especially with his later actions, even in this book. It's just kind of
Mhm.
like, yeah, we'll get into it. The most we'll get into it because the most character Tamlin is going to show is going to be happening in just a minute.
Yes,
So,
it is. And
um,
I I loved this part.
I know I remember you mentioning this, and this is for those of you listening or watching. Amanda like basically demanded that we make it through these chapters because she
I
wanted to
did.
talk about this. She didn't want to stop beforehand. She
I
didn't want a
didn't.
cliffhanger.
I did
She.
not. No.
All right, let's do it then.
And
You
I'm
ready?
sure you're going to remember. I am I'm gonna say it. And I'm gonna say it before we even get into it
Okay.
because I am that confident in my choice on this.
All right.
This is the hottest scene in this book.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm yeah, I don't have an argument. I don't have an argument against that.
It's this, it's the Dark Stranger.
This chapter alone, you mean, is just the hottest
No,
chapter. Because this is
I mean,
also the same chapter with she meets our mysterious
I'm
stranger.
really looking at it like per scene.
Okay, I
I
got you.
call this number one hottest scene in the entire book
Number two. Well,
is meeting the Dark Stranger.
oh, really?
Mhm.
Interesting.
Number three is when they
Yeah,
finally,
do the
yeah,
thing.
they finally do the do.
That's fair. That's fair because it's just it's kind of the point. Well, yeah, we'll get there.
Let's tell the
Ah.
people. I mean, obviously, you're reading along with us. You know what's coming, so I
Hmm.
want you to sound off. Let me know what your thoughts are on this.
Yeah,
But Ben, what happens after she's had this moment of self doubt and realizing that Tamlin is terribly handsome, even though she can only see half his face.
yeah. This is obviously. Well, she decides that, like any normal person would, that she's hungry,
She
and
didn't eat.
that's true. She didn't eat, and she decides to go to the kitchen. The halls are empty, but who should she run into but Tamlin?
Mhm.
And
Going somewhere.
yeah,
His
I don't.
voice was not entirely of this world.
I like the description of his body because
Oh,
he has paint
oh yes.
smudged around and leading into places.
Yep, I was about to turn down the hallway when a tall male figure appeared before me. The moonlight from the open window turned his mask silver, and his golden hair, unbound and crowned with laurel leaves, gleamed. His bare chest was painted with whorls of dark blue, and from the smudges in the paint, I knew exactly where he'd been touched.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. That's what
I
I'm talking
tried
about.
not to notice that they descended past his muscled midriff.
Yes. See?
Up that thirst meter,
Put
Bob.
it up there. Put it up there. Bob, take it way up. Keep
Take
going.
it up.
Just go up. I'll tell you when to stop. Yeah, it's thirsty. But it's also this hint of jealousy. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, why? I'm like, why does this turn me on? I
It's
don't know. Anyway.
I was about to pass him when he grabbed me so
Mhm.
fast that I didn't see anything until he pinned me up against the wall. Where are my book talk girlies who love being pinned against the wall?
They're there. They're rejoicing around
Oh
the world.
man.
It's just,
All the she's and they's.
hmm
You're out there.
hmm
Are you doing the book boyfriend test with your partner? Are
What's
you
what?
making them push you up against the wall and pin your hands?
Give it a try. Let him
Give
test
it
it
a
out.
try. See if they can recreate it. He says, what? Let's see here. He says, going somewhere is how he
The
talks to
first thing,
her.
right?
The second thing he says to her as he grasps her wrist is, I smelled you.
I smelled you.
I smelled you.
Smelled you.
I
You were
searched for
there.
you.
Yes, yes.
His
Uh-huh.
painted chest rising and falling so close to mine. You weren't there.
Yeah.
He's very upset,
Yeah, oh, yeah, no.
but
He's
he's radiating lust.
yo, yeah, it's just like if we need a third one for
We might
Tamlin that needs his own thirst
just
meter at this
this
point.
one might do, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, He reeks of magic, she says. Um, she wants him to let her, she tells him to let go.
She says that, but
But she
you
says it, but she doesn't actually.
are you
Um,
okay? Is that you saying that you don't actually want him to let go, or is that
no,
you think
because she goes,
Farah is?
she says, I said
That-
it as evenly as I could, but his claws punched out, embedding in the wood above my hands.
mm.
Like you didn't fight. You were just like, let go. Like,
Like, please stop. Like,
stop. Please. Oh no.
no, please don't do that.
Oh,
Oh
please
man.
stop. I'm not going to actually say my safe word because I'm going to play at non-con.
What would Farah and Tamlin's safe word be?
Hi, Lord.
No, no. That's she's saying that. She loves saying that.
Oh,
That and
it's true.
feral.
She's moaning that all the time.
Yeah, no, that and
It's
feral. It's got to be
probably
like
wolf,
mm, apology,
feral,
apology, please.
unusual.
Conflagration.
Adder.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
Uh,
Uh
all right.
yeah, so she's being pinned and
You drove me mad. He growled. Ben, I
Mhm.
want you to growl.
Right now?
Yes, I want you to say that you drove me mad. I want to hear you growl.
I don't know. My wife would appreciate that.
Well,
I could get hold on, Bailey. I can't do a growl. Hold on. I'm practicing over here. Hold
that's fine. Practice.
on.
Oh, see?
That's the best I got right now.
All right. That's fair.
I can't do a purr, so don't even ask.
We won't ask you to purr. He doesn't purr. He just growls.
I was thinking more along the lines of our stranger from earlier, but yeah. Anyway, yes,
Oh.
growling. Yeah, very,
Mm.
very feral. Very feral.
Yeah, when I didn't find you, it made me pick another.
Hmm.
Um,
I
she
did
asked
not.
me not to be gentle.
Yes, that was. Yep.
Oh man. And then he is just going for it because he tells her, but I would have been gentle with you.
Uh-huh. No, that's not true. He's a
No,
liar.
I would have
And
had
that
you moaning my name throughout it all. And I would have taken a very, very long time, Feyre. He said my name like a caress.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is like sweating emoji.
So like at this point, I'm like, all right, well, this is it. This is sex. This is sexy time. And then
Oh man.
we get then continue. I know I'm gonna let you talk about what happens next because I know this is your part.
Yeah, his hot
But go
breath
ahead.
tickled my ear. My back arched slightly. He
Hmm.
ripped his claws free from the wall, smiled like an animal, and then as she goes to me all snarky, because why would I want someone's leftovers, sloppy seconds, blah, blah, because we can't keep our mouth shut. He pushes her back up against the wall and bites her neck.
Hmm.
I cried out as his
Hard.
teeth clamped onto the tender spot where my neck met my shoulder.
Hmm.
I couldn't move, couldn't think, and my world narrowed to the feeling of his lips and teeth against my skin. He pushed his body against mine. The hard and soft made me see red, made me grind my hips against his.
Where's your thirst meter right now?
Oh God, it's through the roof. It's blown off the top because
This is it. This is what
this
you've
is
been waiting
it.
for.
This is what
This is
I've been waiting
the
for.
long play.
195 pages into this book,
Finally getting saucy,
and
getting
we're
something
finally
worthwhile.
getting smutty.
Smutty fucking smutty.
I should hate him for his stupid ritual and for the what female he had been with.
But you don't.
Fight lightens. He uses his tongue to caress her neck. He just remained in the spot, kissing my neck. Heat bounded between my legs, and as he ground his body against me, against every aching spot, a moan slipped past my lips. At which point he jerks away, tells her not to ever disobey him again, and leaves.
The fuck?
I was angry then.
Oh, dude, I was at this point. I was like, I was kind of upset. For someone who
Right.
doesn't even read this stuff, I'm like, "Oh, what kind of letdown is the dude's giving himself blue balls for one?
Dude.
I mean, like, what the flip? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't there a sex scene there? Like, why not? Why couldn't they, or even just something more, right? Maybe, like,
Well,
was it-
you do get a little bit more because he does like so he tells her, don't disobey me.
sure,
I'm gonna walk. He kind of starts to pull away from her, walk away from her. And this is when she's like, I want him everywhere. And like she is turned on. She
she's
is
ready.
ready to
She's ready.
go. And he can smell her and he hesitates because she was drowning in need.
Drowning in need. Whew.
Drowning in need. And he growled once, low and frustrated, before prowling away. And then that's the end of the chapter, guys. Like, that's where she leaves us. It's very cruel.
Rude, even.
It's very cruel. Which this solidified for me that I don't love slow burn. I like a little slow burn, but
Yeah.
like that's too slow for a slow burn.
So that ends the chapter. That's
That's it.
chapter.
That's
That's
chapter
chapter.
21. And then we will start chapter 22 next time.
Yeah.
But tell me, guys,
Man, that it's.
that is like the hottest scene in the whole book.
I'm like thinking forward, and yes, I think I do agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, you would think like, oh, the part where they actually have sex is the hotter part, but the coming together and the whole thing is not. It's not.
It's not good.
No, it's
Not
more
compared to
like
that. Because
no.
that's desire. It's pure, it's unadulterated, it is just
Lust. And
attraction. It's raw.
yeah, but later it's like it's love. It is
It's
love,
kind of love, yeah.
and that's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here
Mm.
for. Is that not what we're here for? A little bit of both.
Why can't it be both? Yeah, like
No,
why
yeah,
can't
yeah,
we have raw animalistic passion
yeah.
and love?
We can. Certainly
And we
can.
should. I think
I don't
if that's what you like in your relationship, you should have that.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say after that. It's just like it's just done. It's just done. This is
It's so good. And then it's yeah.
Bob, you can stop. You can yes, stop right there. You don't have to keep going. Anyway,
Is he
it's
still building
over. He's
it?
he's still making the other one go up. He just kept going because I never told him to stop. I
Well,
figured
it's
he'd
so through like it is like that is
yeah, no.
it's tense and you're
It's
like, oh,
like I thought it would be at the top an explosion, but there's nothing.
it's
There's
just
it's like if this were a volcano, like
we got just
what
to the top of
right
the volcano
it's
just
like a
before we spill over.
everyone evacuated. It's like, oh my God, natural disaster. And then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, guys, it didn't happen.
Sorry, it was just a gas bubble. I'm gonna
It's just
settle down now.
it's just a bubble. You know,
Right.
like, yeah,
Because
I don't
yeah,
know.
like I mean, if you're thinking, yeah, it's like it's right before the moment of actual eruption, and then it
Right.
stops.
Probably poor, either a really good analogy or a poor one. I'm not sure. But either
I don't
way,
know.
I don't know. Like, and this isn't like a normal thing, right? And smut, like this kind
Oh
of
no,
lead up.
I mean, there is an entire trope and genre of like smut and romance that is that like slow burn type thing where like it goes forever before they finally do.
Right.
I
This,
it's just not for me. Like I
yeah,
like a
okay,
little
okay.
bit of that need and that desire,
Yeah, sure. But like, yeah, follow through.
but I would have liked it a lot more if they would have actually
Done.
even if it was just a quick
That's what I was gonna ask you. What if it was like not full penetration? We're talking like oral sex or like
I would have
or
been down with
other
it.
teasing. Okay, yeah. So maybe it was like, yeah, I don't know.
So like
Something, anything.
so like me and your wife have been listening to the Jennifer Armentrout of Blood and Ash.
Right. Yes, 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 yes. She mentioned
And
that.
that first one, definitely it is a slow burn romance. I think through the whole first book, like there is no actual P and V sex that occurs
Yeah.
between our characters. But he definitely is handsy.
Okay.
And I think he gets her off once with his hand.
Okay.
He definitely worships at her feet, and there's definitely some oral
In my
stimulation.
wife's in my wife's words, he's very giving.
He's very
He's
giving.
very giving.
He's
Like,
very
oh, okay.
giving. We do love it.
Good for him. That
I
was my
mean,
response.
it's we love a sittable face. He has a
Okay.
sittable
He's
face
got
in
a
that
suitable
book.
face. All
Like
right,
it's,
that's fair.
it's a face that
It's
looks best.
it's a good looking face, but you
It's a
know, it would
good
look
looking
better.
face. If I sat on I mean,
So like it's okay. So I guess that's my thing is like is it the fact that there's nothing here? Like
I
would
think it's
this would have
it's
been more is a what?
it's just a bite. Like
Yeah.
there's some neck kissing, but it's like
And they're grinding. There's some dry
there's some
humping.
yeah, but like
Yes.
this is when you in most like books that I consider like smut
Yeah.
and like these very like sexy romance books, like this is just like this happens early. This happened 95 pages ago.
Yeah, I got you. Like in the pond, or even
Maybe even
there's
a
a couple
little bit.
times where they're sitting together in
Yeah.
the field or something. Yeah.
Right. Like we should have been by this point, we are surpassing
Yeah.
third base. And here
Okay.
we've barely hit a base.
Yeah. Yep. You.
They haven't even actually kissed each other.
This is true. Some
There's
necking
been
and some
no
grinding.
there, but not even neck. I mean, because
Well,
she
yeah,
didn't do anything
she's
to him.
right. It's just
It's very
yeah.
one-sided.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely feels too drawn out for me. So unless this was an attempt to make, to have one of these prolonged writings or prolonged sex scenes or well prolonged
Mhm.
until the sex scene it wasn't for me. I mean, I wanted something. I was especially as
I was
a
ready.
novice, someone who has never read this up before. I'm like, okay, this is it. This is finally it. It's
I
happening.
thought it was too.
And
And
then
I have
no.
read this because I was ready. I was like, I know it gets good. I
Yeah.
know it gets good. And I
And he
was like, all
just
right, here we go.
and like
Let's
in
go,
the
baby.
it's like he just walks away.
And that's it.
I'm sorry, he prowls away.
Probably.
My
But
bad.
like,
Uh, like I don't, and she's just sitting there like writhing in her own lust, like what I get.
and I would even give you this. I would have absolutely been okay if he would have been like, can't, we shouldn't. Like if there would have been that like for whatever reason, now is not the time.
Right, or like this is not the right, or this is we can't, yeah,
No, like I no, or when I finally do like having that I would have been so much more okay with it if there would have
yeah,
been that conversation where he tells her,
yeah,
now is not the time.
no,
When I do this, I don't
yeah,
want the influence of magic. Like
yeah. Oh yeah,
something like
something.
that's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, sir.
Oh.
Oh, you're gonna keep me on the because then I wouldn't have I don't think minded as much if it would have been I'm under the influence of this great right. When I do this the first time, I
I
want to be
got,
me.
I got you. Two words. Not yet.
Yeah.
That's all it took. That's just because like you're laying the
Yeah.
groundwork. You
Yeah.
know, it's like it is gonna happen. Just not yet. Not yet.
I'm trying to think if there was a book. I feel like I have this in my brain. There's,
Mm,
I feel like there was a book that it had that kind of thing where it was like he was under the influence of something, and he did not want the first time that they had sex to be under the influence of.
I feel that.
Which
Yeah.
I'm
But
good,
yeah, but you gotta say something. You
but
can't
you
just
got to say it.
I mean, just,
It's an understandable thing. It's uh
yeah. That's
like
all. I just
it's actual
imagine.
character depth. I mean,
Well, yeah, instead of prowling away for no particular reason whatsoever,
right.
other than the dude's probably rocking a huge hard on and just like
The
he's
fact that
probably
he could
knocking,
walk.
yeah, he's probably like knocking over like pottery and shit as he's prowling away.
Mhm.
Like whatever, dude. Come on.
This also, I will say that what would it could have saved this for me
Uh-huh.
was if at this point we would have had a point of view swap to Tamlin's perspective for chapter 22.
That would have been cool. We can like learn maybe why or how or just kind of like his thinking. Yeah.
Mhm. If I could know what was going on in his head, I would have forgiven a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, I will say like I'm not gonna say this often in the defense of Tamlin. Uh
In the Timmy Tam.
Tim Tam coming off of a huge orgy, probably pretty tired. Magic aside.
Magic
Uh
aside,
number
beast
two,
feralness aside.
these fairness aside. Number two, it's like probably got a lot of other people's fluids on you.
Take a shower.
Yeah. Could use a shower first, beforehand.
But you could have showered with her. I'm done.
I just like it's just someone would fuck it up though. It'd be like,
Oh, 100%.
come shower with me. I've got other people's fluids on me.
He would absolutely be like, I am sticky.
I really want to have sex with you, but it's just really sticky right now.
But like even like he could have scooped her up and carried her back to her bedroom.
See, that I would not have accepted because at this point he's like so like far gone in his like feralness or
Nah,
yeah, he's just like it would have been like just like one
probably
hand and her
accurate.
just like grabbed her by her hips and was just like
He could have
that,
put he could have potato sacked her,
that would have been acceptable. I would
and
have
that
gone
would
with
have been
that. Yeah.
100% acceptable and
Yeah.
actually probably just as sexy.
Yeah. Yep.
Is like no is her protesting as he
Right. Like, oh, but
carries her
I'm gonna
away.
kick my legs and swell
Oh,
my arms. Oh
right.
no.
Yeah.
It's happening again.
Oh no, take me to my bedroom and lay me down.
Right. I urge you to go to your room. Okay, okay. All right, let's go. I
Let's
don't
go.
know. I mean, yeah, I
Carry
don't
me.
carry me, please.
Ah, my feet hurt, please.
Yeah, these chapters are a treat because like so it's like this
So good.
huge fun lead up. It's a great, interesting new our favorite character
Yep.
comes and then it's just this massive letdown.
I will say, so like I'm my emotions on this were all over the place because I was
Yeah,
finally like, all right, okay,
yeah,
I'm in. It took me 195 pages, but like
yeah,
I'm invested.
yeah. No, yeah. I go ahead. Yeah,
No,
you're good.
that's it. Like I'm invested, and then you tease me like that, and I'm like, really?
Did me dirty.
She did. She did
Did me
us
dirty.
dirty,
Yeah. I really don't like how they treat the next day because they
which is
treat,
awkward.
yeah, yep, which we'll get into
We'll get into that
next
next
one.
time.
Yeah. Just do the thing. Just have the sex, Feyre. Just Tamlin. It's cool. Like you've won her heart.
I mean, even if there would have just been like a heavy makeout at that moment, I would have been
In
acceptable.
anything, right?
Yes, because at this point, everything is just these gentle, caressing touches. This
Right.
was the most action we've gotten.
Gotta bite, take a chunk out of her, you know,
And
and then
yeah,
not, and then nothing.
and then nothing.
All right.
So, all right, next week we'll pick up with 22.
Chapter 22. We'll get to see the thrilling conclusion of another sexless night.
Uh-huh.
Or I guess we saw the conclusion of that, but we get to see the
We
follow-up.
already did, yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a nice hickey, I will say.
Yes, we will find.
We'll hear all about that real nice hickey that he gave her
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
Lucian handles
This
that. in
Is
the
it really
next
a
one.
is it really a hickey if it's just like a full on bruise like bite? Like I
I
guess
I I give it hickey because he bit her and then he kissed her.
right, it's like a sexual way, so that's
Yeah.
fair. I agree.
But she
All
does
right.
call it a bruise. She doesn't call it hickey.
No. I mean maybe the
No.
hickey's not what they would say in that.
In Printian.
There. Yeah, it's like they're above those words or I don't know.
Yes. Well, and then we're gonna start getting um actually we chapter 22. Yeah, we'll probably get to see our favorite character again.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. I'm
Mhm.
excited.
Yes. So
I like the scene. Yes.
next
Come
time,
join
like,
us
subscribe,
and share.
comment,
Share with your
share
friends,
with your
people.
friends.
The best way to. I'm tired. Let's kick
It's
this.
been a long.
It's
But
been.
yeah, you know what? Tell me if you agree with me, if you
Mhm.
think this might be the hottest scene in the whole book.
Yeah, give us your
Or
rankings.
yeah, I want to know. Or if you're
Yeah,
not, you don't know what's coming for the rest of the book, give me your predictions on what you think it's going to be like.
yeah.
I want to know.
How many more
Over to
chapters
you.
before they actually have sex?
Too many.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here.
All right. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.